is you're going to find paper. This is paper we are working on creating art projects. This is paper that is going to teach us a skill, like a worksheet. So on the back counter, we have a tub on the bottom. This has every class period, and these papers are what you're going to pick up. So if you are the office manager or at the beginning of school, I may tell you to go get the paper out of the tub. So you find your class period, there's gonna be a stack. You're not grabbing the stack and passing them out. That's not what I'm asking for you to do. You're gonna take one for you. If you're the office manager, you're gonna take one for every student. So if I have 6 people at my table, I would grab 6 of these. So again, you have to listen, because the first week of school, we are grabbing one for ourselves. Once we start our classroom jobs, the office manager will be grabbing one for everybody at your table. If any are left over, those stay in there because all the other kids are getting them. That may be your skill building lesson we're going to work on, or the warm-up work, depending on where we are at the beginning of school, the middle of the year, the end of the year. So again, that would go back to your table with you, and you would be working on it, or we're going to be working on it together. The next item we have is our skill building folder. Again, this basket, everybody has a period on it, and then you're going to grab a folder. You're going to double check to make sure this is your table's folder. This says table 1, period 5. So I need to make sure that is my period I'm in, and that is the table I sit at. Again, this will be the office manager's job, but until then, I may be assigning it to someone. Inside here, if you are working on this worksheet and we don't get to finish it that day, this is where it's going to be. There are 2 sides to this folder. There is, I'm still working on it, and completed. So again, at the end of class, I may tell the person to the office manager, get your skill building folder. If we're not done with it, it goes on the still working side. And then again, it goes back in this little holder inside the basket. You have to check. You could sort of memorize, you'll know table, in this group, this one, table green has, table 1 is the green. Table 2 is the pink. They're all different colors for the table. Not every class period has the same colors, so just be aware. I'm showing you the colors for this group, but it may not be like that for your class. So that is where we keep our skill building worksheets or warm up, any kind of worksheet we are working on in class. And then when it is completed, we'll be going over where to turn that in, but that's where it stays. Behind that, you're going to find the same type of things, but these are large file folders. These are called your work in progress. Again, check your table, check your class period, but this is artwork that may come off the drying rack or what we're using to draw. It's going to be bigger pieces of paper. That's why it's a bigger folder. Again, everyone has a tab at the top. It tells you which table, so make sure that you have the correct one. And then again, as the year goes on, you'll memorize what color you have for your table. This again would be another office manager job as we get our jobs, and that goes in the back. So if I pull, if we are working on a drawing and we're on Tuesday and we still have 3 more days of that drawing paper would go in the big long folder. That is going to be your artwork. So this is more worksheets that Miss Lawson has printed that we're doing things on. The long one is for your artwork that we are working on. So just make sure you know the difference between those two. And then down here again is where you would pick yours up, or your office manager would pick it up for your table. So artwork, paperwork, that is where it's held. Always check your table number. Always check to make sure you're in the right class period.